Okay, off to cryogenesis. Look, I thought I'd pick cryo first because it kind of feels a bit like futuristic and I'm feeling a bit fun. Apparently, like you get frozen to 120 degrees something less than zero, which is pretty heavy. So we'll let you guys know how we go. I'm going to pick up my best mate. He's been a bit stressed lately, works in a pretty sort of high pressure finance role. I thought we can spend some bro time together. So I'm going to go into this completely open-minded and let you guys know exactly how it felt. If it felt really good, I'm just going to say it. I'm not going to be a cynic about it. So wish me luck. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.
So what is this?
I don't know, man. Fucking, we go there, you freeze your balls off, and then you're meant to feel better because it's therapeutic.
Oh,
You love this kind of shit.
I did that once in Antarctica. Actually, I did it in Russia. Jumped into a plunge pool, didn't know it was 4 degrees.
But don't you do flotation, do all that kind of shit?
Float tanks, I'm a big proponent of the float tank. Love the float tank. I've been doing it for years. It's just called floating in salt water.
Are you scared? You nervous?
I'm always up for a challenge.
And apparently they freeze your balls to 120 minus hectopascals.
Will they grow back? Is it like a lizard's tail?
They come back.
As long as they come back, I'm all right.
So, man, we'll give it a go. I think it's meant to give you recovery, and I think it's a bit like ice bars and stuff like that. How it's different from an ice bath, I don't know. I want it to do recovery stuff, but to be honest, I'm a bit cynical about this sort of shit. I think it's just going to give me some funny footage.
I think it's age-old, proven this stuff.
Nah, man, there's no evidence for this.
Hot, cold. Yeah, there is.
So what, you get hot, you get cold. How does that work? Really? Scientifically, how does it work?
I think it's something to do with rejuvenation of cells much faster.
Rejuvenate your head. So we're about to go in. I'm shitting myself. He's just given us a very good sort of brief of what we need to do. We've got to get dressed, and we'll take a picture after that. No thong. And I'm a little bit scared. Let's see how we go. Christian, thank you so much.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
Okay.
It's a bit tricky with it. Look at that, swamp monster. That's good. That's good, eh? So,
Oh.
how'd you feel?
Good. Started getting the shakes a bit.
Did you?
Involuntary.
Live?
Yeah, good.
Wow. Beautiful.
Alrighty, so we just finished cryo. Brother, what did you think?
Definitely for me.
You loved it.
Loved it. Just takes you to simplicity. It was cold but not freezing. Could dial it up. Much more pleasant than cold water. Ice bath for sure.
Do you reckon it's the fact that it does something, or you think it does something, the placebo?
I think anything. I think people, eons in all different countries have been doing cold water treatment. Europeans swim all year round. Scandos do those hot, cold treatments. Japanese go in a sauna, then they roll around the snow. It's pretty well established, I reckon. I don't know. It's just good for your nervous system, I think. It feels good. I don't know what the science says, but it feels good.
Man, I feel like I've been through something, but I'm not walking away thinking I've got a new operating system.
But it definitely wakes you up. I think if the temperatures are a bit colder for me, I was in there for a bit longer.
Colder? Fucking hell.
I was waiting for someone just to put me on the grill deal.
Alright, so that's us.
I'll be back.
We're going to give it another go, and I'll do a further breakdown back home. See you guys. Well, that was fun. So this is the next day. I didn't do the wrap-up last night because I had a couple of drinks with my mate, I had a steak, had a good night, and I thought I'd do this fresh. So it was a good day. Cryo was... I'll get into a cryo breakdown, actually. I thought it was really interesting. So what I want to do now is I want to go over all of the really popular ones that people talk about. Ice bars are a big one. Red light therapy is another one. There's earthing. There's those fucking stupid nose strips. Anyway, we'll get into a few. And what we'll do is a really advanced rating system. Go 1 to 4, keep it nice and simple. Not going to be too long, guys. Just cover off the major ones. So if something gets a 1, we'll call it, can you see that? Better than a punch in the head. Yeah, good. Scientific. 2, we'll just call it rubbish. 3, shit. 4, not entirely shit. And there might be a special 5, weapons grade shit. So how about we start with ice baths. I can't walk into my gym without tripping over about 5 of them. The commercial gym I train at, they just installed 5. So it's funny, I walk past to get to weights, just like 5 guys, and I say, "G'day, mate, how you going?" They're like, "Yeah, good, thanks." And their lips are purple, they're about to die, but they're trying to look tough because there's chicks there. So, um, you know, I've grown up watching league teams go down to the beach, and I get it. They're walking into the water doing recovery, so like clearly it's been around right forever, and they must think it works. Maybe it helps to physically, maybe it makes you fresher, maybe the actual sort of ritual matters, maybe some of it's like placebo, and placebo is not nothing, guys. If a guy or girl comes out feeling better, that counts. Half the recovery is probably physical, the other half is believing you've recovered, right? So I'm not against the idea at all. I think mind over matter is a big one. My issue that the stuff cold water isn't fake. My issue is what modern sort of the wellness version has become, because it's not just about recovery anymore. It's about content, it's about identity, it's a lifestyle. 6 blokes sitting in a fucking pool in a gym freezing their balls off, before chest day is just a bit strange. So I get why it's lasted though, and I get why sort of footy clubs do it. I get why blokes swear by it. I'm just saying the modern version has become less about recovery and more about performance. And I don't mean physical performance, I mean social performance. So it's become a bit of a wank. So ice bars are, I'll let the sign do the talking, the beautiful sign. Better than a punch in the head. Look, do I think they're sacred? No, I reckon they're useful. So there you go. That's ice bars. I think they'll score pretty highly. Yeah. All right. Next up, Cryo. Basically, a more futuristic cousin of the ice bath. Different packaging. Instead of sitting in a barrel like a Viking, you now step into like a freezer and stand there pretending that it's the final form of human optimization. I can see why people like it. Definitely feels like something happened. You come out alert, a bit buzzed, a bit sharper, like your body's just been told to wake up immediately. So I'm not here to say it's useless, like like a lot of the wellness stuff. Something happened. But yeah, Cryo is excellent at making you feel like something happened. It feels serious. It feels high tech. It feels premium. Feels like you should come out with less inflammation, better recovery, mental clarity, maybe a new operating system. Did I enjoy it? Yeah, fair enough. Did I come out thinking I discovered the next frontier of human flourishing? No. I came out thinking it was interesting. It was cold, and I'm very glad I filmed it. So, Cryo, better than a punch in the head. A good experience, still a little bit of like theatre. Alrighty, red light up next. This is where wellness starts drifting properly into fucking sci-fi. Because now a grown man standing half naked in front of a red panel, eyes closed, like he's charging. It's outrageous visually. You look like a fucking chicken. Or you've wandered into a cult that specializes in inflammation. That's what makes it funny to me. It's not just a bloke standing in warm colored light. Now it's cellular, now it's recovery, now it's regeneration, now it's mitochondrial. Everything in wellness gets the same treatment. So take a small possible benefit, wrap it in a big language, and present it like it's some ancient wisdom. meets elite science, and that's the bit I can't help fucking laughing at. Half the time, the confidence around this stuff is miles ahead of what blokes actually know about it. They just know it looks serious, I guess. And modern wellness loves anything that looks serious. Absolutely. So red light, 3, rubbish. Not saying it does nothing, just saying a bloke standing in front of a fucking lamp doesn't automatically become optimized. All right, now we start getting into the comedy stuff. Breathwork. Fucking Breathwork. It's incredible. Every few years, the wellness world manages to relaunch Oxygen like it's a software update. There's a new way to live. Really? Go on. You actually breathe air. Groundbreaking. Look, and to be fair, breathing's important. Probably one of the big ones, right? If you stop doing it, you fucking die, which does sort of affect performance. And breathing has a role to play. The issue is not with my lungs, the issue is with the theatre of it. Because the way some blokes talk about breath work, they think they spent 12 years in a cave being taught by fucking wolves. Mate, you sat on the floor and you inhaled on purpose. Relax. Look, maybe it helps. Maybe you feel calmer. Maybe you stop thinking. Every minor inconvenient is a nervous system event. Fair enough, but the language around it is just outrageous. It's never just breathing. It's modality. It's a portal, a somatic reset, a nervous system intervention, a sacred remembering. Nah, mate, it's air with branding. That's what it is. And that's why it makes me fucking laugh, because there probably is a little bit of truth in it. But like everything else in wellness, the truth gets dragged into far, I don't know, just joke territory. A man sitting with fucking activewear, like he's discovered Atlantis and is hyperventilating. So breath work, better than the punch in the head, maybe. Actually, no, I'm going to call it shit. So it's not life-changing. Settle down. All right, now the funny shit. It's going to get funnier as you go. Next up, nose strip. This one fascinates me because I don't think it's spread through millions of men carefully reading research. I think it kind of spread through giant YouTubers and athletes wearing them on camera. And now every bloke wants to look like he's one adhesive strip away from looking elite performance. That's modern wellness in one image, a tiny possible benefit wrapped in a massive visual signal. Do they help a bit? Maybe 2% if we're being generous. But you also look like a fuckwit, and that should count for something. That's the funny part, not the strip itself. The seriousness around the strip. A bloke puts one on and suddenly it looks like he's preparing for combat. When he's really just doing like incline dumbbell presses and checking his phone between sets. And that's what wellness does so well. It takes something small, maybe even mildly useful, and turns it like into something like a performance. So nose strips, I'm going to say shit, massive copycat energy for me. All right, mouth taping, hilarious. Next up, mouth taping. This is where the whole thing starts backing itself, because now the pitch is basically, you know what your sleep's been missing? Looking like a fucking hostage on the news. Look, I'm sure there are like niche cases where it's helpful for some people, but the internet version of mouth taping is classic modern wellness. Take a narrow idea, turn it into a universal truth, add certainty, and a bloke online speaking like he's decoded the human operating system. Now everyone's sealing their own face shut at night because one podcast bloke said it was elite. And you can tell blokes love it because it feels technical, right? Blokes love anything that makes them feel like they're found an edge, even when they look completely fucking ridiculous. That's the joke to me. Not that it, might help some people. I get it, but the joke is the confidence, the seriousness, the way a strip of tape suddenly becomes a sacred little performance ritual before bed. So mouth taping, shit, probably useful for some, I just think it's a bit of a flex and yeah, shithouse. Okay, the gadgets, sleep trackers. This one is fantastic because it gives anxious people data, and anxious people love data. There's now a whole category of a bloke who wakes up and asks himself how he feels. He asks his watch, I'm not really myself today. My recovery was sore and my score is 63. Now, look, some of it's probably useful. Patterns matter, sleep matters. Knowing you sleep like shit probably helps if you somehow missed that point. Fair enough. But there's a fine line between awareness and becoming like an intern to your own risk. At some point, you're not sleeping, you're administering sleep. I think that's the joke. A device that starts off as a tool slowly becomes like a supervisor. So now your ring tells you whether you're allowed to train hard, feel good, or have a personality that day. So sleep trackers, I'm going to say shit. Alrighty, supplements. Next up, we're going to talk about supplements. They're brilliant because they let people feel elite without fixing anything fundamental, in my opinion. A bloke can sleep 5 hours, drink every weekend, never get sunlight, carry too much fat, and still say, yeah, but I'm on magnesium, greens, electrolytes, ashwagandha, sea moss, lion's mane, collagen, etc. So, right, you don't have a supplement problem. You've got a lifestyle problem wearing, like, a fake suit. And that's why this whole world is so good at making money, heaps of money. Because buying powders feels good, it feels technical, it feels proactive, it feels like you're doing something important. Much easier to order a stack than go to bed on time for 6 months. Look, now not all supplements are useless. Obviously, some of them are fine. But a lot of blokes are treating like sprinkles like they're a solution. So supplements, um, yeah, I'm going to say shit. Powdered hope, really. Eat some food, drink the right thing, train. Okay, going to rip through a couple. Gas masks. This is where the issue no longer is does it work? The issue is like dignity, man. There's something so fucking funny about a bloke on a treadmill wearing what looks like military surplus from World War II, and everyone's wondering what the fuck's going on. That's not training, man. That's community theatre. You've gone so far past I don't care that you've entered into full costume. And the best part is how serious these guys are. They never looked embarrassed at all. They look really committed to it. That makes it 10 times funnier. So, gas mask, fucking weapons grade shit. Um, all right. How about contrast therapy? Contrast therapy. This is peak bloke wellness because it combines sort of two things blokes adore: suffering and telling people about it. I went hot, then I went cold, then I went hot again. Righto, bro. You're at fucking traffic light. Look, I'm not saying it does nothing. Maybe it feels good. Maybe you walk out buzzing. Maybe your body likes the shit. Fair enough. But the language around it is always miles too dramatic. Some blokes talk like they're alternating between like a spiritual fucking adventure in their power cave and in between the hot and cold. You didn't meet God, man. So contrast therapy is absolutely weapons grade shit as well. How about earthing? You guys heard about earthing? One of the great fucking rebrands. What I can tell, this is mostly just fucking standing outside with no shoes on, which in previous generations, mine was not a wellness protocol. It was just being outside. Look, I'm sure some people find it calming. Fresh air is nice, grass is nice, being outdoors is nice, fair enough. Modern wellness has this incredible ability to take an ordinary human thing and to narrate it like there's some sacred sort of upgrade. So you're not just grounding, you're just in the backyard, bro. So earthing is absolute same, absolutely overcooked, weapons grade shit. So just to close off, I'm not saying that every wellness trend is useless. Some of it is fine. Some of it may even help. Some of it may be based in the scientific system. But the bigger thing I keep coming back to is this: a lot of modern wellness is wildly kind of overpacked. Tiny benefits come with like whole identities, like simple habits become sort of lifestyle theatre, and people start adding, all of this sacred practice to their daily sort of schedule, and it just makes people poor. It's packaged also in a very sort of soft, therapeutic, I'm going to say feminine coded light. That's not a criticism of women. That's, the language is like holding space, honoring where you're at, protecting your peace. That's fine, guys. But I don't think most blokes come alive through that sort of like framing. I think we come alive when we feel sharp, when we feel capable, when we feel physically switched on. When there's some sort of structure in our life, some standards, some effort, some challenge, some, I don't know, some edge. And that's my real issue with a lot of modern wellness. It often sounds like a call to become stronger and, have a nice invitation to soften everything, to lower the bar, to explain yourself endlessly, to build an identity around sort of coping. And I don't think a lot of blokes need more ways to soften. I actually think they need more reasons to sharpen up. So for most men, basics are still doing the heavy lifting: sleep properly, train properly, eat like an adult, get outside, lose some fat, drink less, do hard things consistently, and build a body and a life that actually reflect some intent. That may not be as marketable as wellness, but it's probably a lot closer to the truth. So hopefully you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you on the next one.